My name is Esabella Strickland, as you heard, and I have ADHD and dyslexia. It can be hard. But I have a question for you all. Do you, someone you know, or someone you love have ADHD? Raise your hand. Let's see it. Okay, cool. Now, raise your hand if you know exactly what that diagnosis emotionally and psychologically determines. Let's see it. And that's okay. I am here to educate you on my experience and guide you through how ADHD can affect lives for generations, especially for teens navigating the school system and beyond, because I've been there. Imagine spending your whole life feeling like you're sailing across uncharted oceans, always on the verge of a storm. Any wind can push you off course, and you constantly hear, just try harder, but you're already trying as hard as you can. And that can lead to burnout and discouragement. In theory, a diagnosis of ADHD should come with the right support, like extra time on tests or individualized learning strategies. Yet in reality, that's not the case. Most schools are not suited for that, and it's really hard when we're all different. Recent research has seen that over 50% of students with ADHD feel like their environment for learning isn't suited for them. And that's really sad, because I've experienced that. In elementary school, I felt disregarded and alienated. Contrary to popular belief, ADHD isn't just academic, but it's social too. I was bullied for not understanding social cues, and I would be called weird for it. I remember the days when I would sit in class not being able to read because I had dyslexia. They would choose me to read, and it would take minutes for me to read a few words, and even longer for me to read a paragraph. So I'd be shh, because it was taking too long. So I'd sit there with nothing to do. What would I do? I would stimulate myself in other ways. I would talk during class, draw on my math book. I hated math. And that would earn me a one-way ticket to the hallway with a pair of construction headphones. I was weird again. I was in the hallway, and I was alone. No kid should feel like that ever. So my peers saw this. My peers saw that I was different, that I was out in the hallway, that I had construction headphones on. I'm not a construction worker. They saw that if I was being bullied by a teacher, they could bully me too. It would get so bad to the point where I would need to be moved to a specialized education school just because of how my brain worked. And what did this teach me? This taught me that I was different, that I was wrong, that I was the issue. But I'm not the issue. It's the school system. It's the system that was built for kids who were not like me. I was a circle in a square system. One of the hardest unseen aspects of ADHD is something called rejection sensitivity, but it comes with a few hidden strengths. People with hypersensitivity have the superpower of heightened emotional intelligence and empathy. We feel much more deeply, but that means we can connect with others on a truly profound level. Being neurodivergent comes with other strengths, such as heightened creativity, hyperfixation on the things we love, adaptability, along with other traits such as thinking outside the box, which is why NASA actually hires people with ADHD, because they think outside the box. And that's why I wanted to become an astrophysicist. Turning challenges into opportunities has not been something that I've been embracing. But for people around me who help me learn that I can thrive, I am the person I am meant to be. And let's not forget, these experiences can span through generations. My mother was diagnosed around the same time I was. She would tell me about the times in school and how this diagnosis gave insight to her childhood. She told me, sorry, this really cracks me up. She told me that she was labeled as distracted and lazy. She was told that she would never be able to take care of herself, and she was told that she would never be enough. No child, no woman, no person should ever be told that. This left a deep scar, and it's heartbreaking to think how many people were told that they were not going to be enough just because of how their brains work. That kind of messaging can run through generations, through cycles. But the good news is, we can change that. With awareness and empathy, we can break this cycle. So what does this all mean? It means that ADHD isn't just an individualized experience, it's a generational story. When we talk about ADHD openly, we can change the narrative. We start to create a world where kids like me, adults like my mom and my sister, and even my brother are accepted and celebrated instead of dismissed as being lazy or weird or never being able to take care of themselves. It doesn't just take sympathy, though. It takes real cognitive empathy, the kind that comes from understanding what it's like to sail in another person's storm. ADHD can make it hard to set your course and find support, but knowing that you're not broken, you are not alone, helps you find the right wind. Ask yourself, how can I be a part of this change? How can I help create an environment where ADHD and other neurodivergencies aren't seen as a struggle, but seen as just a different way of thinking? Remember, when it's impactful, it's memorable. And when it's memorable, people learn and become aware to make the change. I've come a long way since then. From being bullied, I wrote a book. I'm here today with these wonderful women who have done such amazing things that I would never think I would be in a room with. I equated myself with nothing because I was told I was nothing by so many people. I hold on to those things today. These impacts for a child have been impacted by my mom, by my sister, and by my brother, who are still overcoming these things today. I'm so grateful for my dad because he's had my back this entire time, and he is the wind that has changed my direction. He brought me here today, and so are the people in the crowd who love me, the people who are learning about my story and all of these wonderful women's stories today. So thank you, and I have one last question. Do you now understand a little bit more about how the diagnosis of ADHD can affect people's lives psychologically and emotionally? Yes. Thank you.